You know, it's amazing. Sometimes you can look forward to getting a break, and you have all these things planned that you want to do, and you have everything in your mind lined up, and you feel like you're just scrambling to get to that point. And then when it gets there, you have no energy, you're completely, lost, and you're unable to really do anything that you want to do. And I think what happens, at least in my case, is I get so caught up in what's going on and what I'm trying to do, and dealing with work and the kids and money and time and all those different things, that when it finally gets to the point where I get a break, I can get to the point where I am just completely wiped out. And then depending on where you're at in this whole phase of recovery, that can actually start wearing you down because you feel like you're not accomplishing anything. You feel like, you just can't keep your focus. And the thing is, everything we're doing is unfortunately highly stressful. All of this stuff, even whenever you're following the techniques to help you deal with it, it's not really a relaxing time. I mean, you're not sitting there drinking your nice glass of iced tea or martini or whatever it is, just casually and calmly trying to get through all this stuff. Now you're pretending to do that, and you're forcing yourself to play that role to try to keep everything calm and stable for your kids and for yourself. But then when you get to that point where you just have that, when you finally have a break, you have nothing nipping at you. You basically, maybe it's the time that you have without your kids, and someone else, whatever, they're with the other parent, you have a babysitter, something where you have this block of time to focus on what you want to focus on, and you just feel stuck. Well, now it sucks, right? I mean, I deal with that on a recurring basis myself. But you have to keep in mind that everything you're dealing with, like I said earlier, is incredibly stressful. This isn't a walk in the park. I mean, there's a lot of work to it, and then sometimes you just need to recoup, relax, get some rest, and refocus your energies. Now, it's tough whenever the period away from your kids is short, because by the time you're finally just getting back into, feeling like you've had a little bit of a break, then boom, everything starts back up. Now, that's minus the fact of if your ex doesn't send any bombs or anything to you while they're away. Typically in my situation, normally what would happen is those little surprises would happen when the kids came back, right? To try to complicate the situation and try to set up a scenario to where you're worn down a little bit more, you're a little more frustrated, and you're more prone to react negatively instead of positively. It hasn't happened recently. A lot of that stuff has calmed down, but I can distinctly remember early on in this whole process where that's exactly what would happen. And it was even worse because at the beginning stages, I didn't have my kids as much. So I would have this long block of time without the kids. I would get the kids, and then something would happen. It would be like, some bill or some court paperwork. I mean, it was notorious where, that would happen. I would look in the mailbox and there'd be some new declaration or new motion or whatever in the mailbox. And it's tough, right? When you're sitting there trying to focus your energy with your kids, it just derails you. So when you roll into that time where you do get a little bit of a break, and you probably are a little bit like me to where you plan things. It's like, okay, all right, that Saturday, the first Saturday I don't have the kids, I'm going to do all I have this laundry list of things. And then the next thing you know, you can't get moving to do anything. You're just lethargic. You get up and your motivation to do anything other than probably sleep or watch some TV or something like that is just overpowers you, and you end up looking at the day going, what in the world happened? I accomplished absolutely nothing. Well, you have to realize that everything is in a balance. Everything that you do is all interconnected. And what I mean is that you just can't shut off those emotions and move to switch to something else. It's especially true if it's not a firm, fixed deadline for yourself, right? Work, you have people who are counting on you. When your kids are around, you have to have your game face on for them. If you're around your ex, you have to have your game face on around that. Any type of thing where you have to show up and be there, it puts a little bit more pressure, and you typically will rise to the occasion unless we really get slammed, and then we'll call out sick or something like that. But it's really tough when you don't have that deadline or that push to actually have to perform, basically. So I wanted to talk about this just because I know I get trapped into this. After coming off of basically a really long time with the kids, just now getting back, last week was like a normal schedule, and now it's rolling into their vacation with their mom. This has been the weekend that I've been looking forward to in preparation. This is this block of time to get a bunch of stuff done. And what I just said is what happened. I did spend some time last night after I dropped the kids off working on troubleshooting some problems and trying to figure out some technical issues on behind the scene for the channel, which that can be annoying because dealing with tech stuff is always kind of frustrating. But yeah, today I had a whole big idea of what I was going to accomplish, and I accomplished, well, not none of it, but I spent a good amount of time just kind of recharging my batteries. And I know in the past, when I would go through that, it would really bother me because I would feel worse, right? And I would feel like I made it through that period of time. I rolled into this time where I had all this stuff I wanted to do and nothing happened. The day's gone, and then I feel more restless and worse. And you might find yourself in that same situation, and you might find yourself, really being hard on yourself because of it. And all I just want to say is that if you find yourself in that situation, just give yourself a break, right? You have to have some downtime to recover from everything you're dealing with and to recharge your batteries. And it can be frustrating whenever you have some ideas that you really want to do for yourself and they just don't manifest. It just doesn't happen. And it's a lot of this is just about the way we perceive it and the way we approach it. So like I was just talking about earlier, I just was going through this earlier today, for today. Roll the clock back a few years ago, and this would have started putting me into a depression because I would feel like I can't accomplish anything. I would just have that inner voice in my head just putting me down. And I think a lot of us go through that. I think a lot of us have that problem, especially when we're dealing with this stuff. And just my message today is just try to keep it in perspective. Realize that your body and your mind do need time to recover and recuperate from everything you're going through. So if you find yourself, like I said, in this situation, just give yourself a break. Take it easy on yourself, and just do what you can and try to find the joy and the good parts about what you can accomplish. Honestly, having a complete day just to completely chill out and not have somebody bugging me, or not bugging me, but like, what's for dinner? What are we doing? I'm bored. Blah, 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 all that normal type of stuff. It's kind of nice. So I still, and then I'm rolling into the vacation time with the kids, so I'm not going to see them this next week. So I have a whole bunch of other things that I'm trying to coordinate and get planned. Hopefully I can make that happen as well. Hopefully if you're going through this, you can just take a deep breath and pick one thing that's really important to you and just try to focus on that. And see if you can make some progress on that. And just, if you feel yourself getting down on yourself, just give yourself a break. You deserve it. All right, on that, I'm going to wrap this video up. If you want to add some more into the discussion down below, please do that in the comment section. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't already gone over and done it, please zip on over to the Dad Surviving Divorce website and sign up for the newsletter. I'm thinking about trying to do some tests, and I might try to use the people in the newsletter for that to help test some new features and stuff out, or new concepts, I guess. So if you sign up, look out for that, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. So take care. Bye.